Hello. What is up, guys? My name's Oliver, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about the pros and cons of living in a storage unit. Now, this is the second time I have lived in a storage unit, and there are some major pros and definitely some major cons of living here. And I thought today I think it would be good to just go through them so I can explain to you guys a bit more kind of like what it's like to live in a storage unit. Now, I apologise for the noise. I've put my jumper over it so it doesn't take up the noise in the video. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up because I'd just appreciate it, so thank you. Now, pros and cons of being in a storage unit are very, I don't know, if you could picture a scale, they're massive at both ends. There's not really any that crossover, unless you want to say money, which is my first pro. With money, living in a storage unit, you save a heck of a lot of money than what you'd be spending on maybe a mortgage or rent for a house. And that's not really a disadvantage because you are saving money. Now, a con for living in a storage unit is your vitamin D intake. And as you can see, there are no windows on this storage unit, therefore my vitamin D intake is very little. That's why in the day I go out, and that's also a con and a pro, I guess, because it's a con it's a con because there's only so much I can be in here. Say I wanted to sit in here during the day and watch a film, I can't. But then again, it's a pro because it gets me out in the world a bit more and it gets me my fresh air. But if it's raining, then that is definitely a con. As well as this, a pro is minimalistic lifestyle. And a lot of people on my channel are part of the alternative living community, and the minimalistic lifestyle is definitely something that a lot of you guys are part of, and you know, tiny living and stuff. So this is a pro. You know, I don't own a lot of stuff. Well, I do. I just don't have access to it at the moment. But the stuff I do have, it is all getting used very, very much. And a con for some people could be claustrophobia. I kind of suffer with claustrophobia. There are times where I can't deal with it, and there are other times where I can. In the storage unit I can, but I wouldn't be able to spend a full day in here. That's why it kind of works for me. A pro of living in a storage unit is, strangely enough, it opens your mind a bit more, and I'm not talking about taking drugs or anything like that. I'm talking about how you're here and now you want to get out of here, so putting your mind to it gets you to your situation quicker. Say you're making a video or something and you need to go and edit it. Yes, you could do it in here, or you could go out to a coffee shop and do it somewhere there, and that's where I've been doing mine. I've been doing it in coffee shops and libraries is where I do most of my editing. And when you're doing it there, it opens your mind and, you know, more sociable interactivity, and you can meet new people, and it's just a great thing to do. A con on living in the storage unit is something that's been affecting me recently, and that's the dust. Now, down here I have a broom, but the broom doesn't get everything. It far from gets everything, but it's as good as I've got. Now, I know I can get a dustpan and brush, but then again, I'm doing the minimalistic lifestyle. So do I really need one? Probably, but I don't see the issue with just doing this for now. Now, a con for living in the storage unit could be electricity. Now, in my last storage unit last year, there was plug sockets on the outside which I was able to feed through a gap like that in the roof and have plug sockets from extension cables inside. However, this time round, I've got a leisure battery and I've had to go to an inverter, and then I've got plug sockets there. Now, that is a fire hazard because it doesn't have any fuses or anything like that. So that is bad, and it means that there could be a fire or something and that can't be stopped. unfortunately, it's what I've got to deal with. So in some circumstances it's a pro if you've got plug sockets outside, but it's a con if you've got it in here. Now, a con of living in a storage unit is security, and my security is a bungee cable. As you can see, it does hold the door closed, and that's what I did in the last one. Last one I had two, so I had one down here as well, and in this one I don't have two, but it does work for me. However, there are people who have issues with security, and that leads on to another con, because you can't drill into the walls here. Like, you can't make loud noises here, and there's a lot of things you can't do here. You can't suddenly paint this metal, can you? No, you can't, because it's not yours. You are renting it. It's like renting a flat. Sometimes you can't paint the walls in those, but this is different because this is a storage unit. Now, a con of living in a storage unit is the law, and that depends on where you are in the world or what it says in your written contract when you get your storage unit. It might say you can't sleep in your storage unit, or it might say that it is illegal to live in a storage unit. Now, for this one, it doesn't say it's illegal to live in a storage unit, and there is nothing saying that I can't sleep in it. However, the one I had last year said I wasn't allowed to sleep in it, but I did. So, if you plan on not getting caught, maybe don't sleep in it. I'm not going to tell you guys what to do. Everything is your choice. I'm just telling you my experience. Now, a con could be something really simple, like the storage unit, you can't put shelves, but then again, you can get magnets. And magnets would work for some people, but for me, I don't need shelving. I brought all this wood in here originally. I've got some more in the corner, and I wanted to do something with it, but I just forgot how tall the storage unit is. The storage unit is amazingly tall. It's about 12.5 to 13 foot tall. So I don't know how well you can tell it on video, but it's not a metal roof with slats, so I wouldn't be able to put anything in. It is a square box here. There isn't much you can do here. You're not able to drill in the walls, and my lighting's this. And for my situation, that battery, I've already had to take it to Costa Coffee to charge once. Do you know how awkward that is when you're walking in there at 7:30 in the morning with a bloody battery, and they open at 7 and you're just like, yeah. Like, I've got a battery charger which goes into the wall, and then you have to sit there for a few hours and charge it. That's not a light thing to carry, okay? And that's another thing. Transportation. I don't have any transportation at the moment apart from my skateboard, which is hung there. A lot of people do have transportation, but you've got to be careful for CCTV, because if you're parked in the car park, yes, the car park is secure for your car, and I did at the one last year with my car at the time, but it takes one person on camera to recognise you or see that you're there just a little too often, and it could be blown. But then again, some people run businesses out of storage units, so you could try and get away with saying it's like that. Now, a con for me living in the storage unit is I'm on a bit of foam on the ground, and yes, I've put a bit of carpeting down, but the floor is still very cold. So the foam gets cold, the walls are cold, so I've had to put some wood up. I don't have a raised bed, and in fact, I haven't actually owned a bed since 2016, no, 17, technically 2017. January 2017 was the last time I owned a bed. And don't get me wrong, I'd love to own my own bed again, just a bed I can climb in and sleep. But I've been on this bit of foam, and I had an identical bit of foam in the van, and this foam isn't even a single bed wide. But that's my issue. A lot of people, if you guys move into a storage unit, you could probably afford a raised bed and insulation, and that's another thing. A con in here is insulation. These walls aren't insulated. These walls are very cold. The buildings don't have heating on because you don't need heating. But I guess it's a pro if you like the cold. And don't get me wrong, I like the cold. But last year when I was in the storage unit, it did snow, and that wasn't the best. Now, I know I could go on and complain about the negatives of living in a storage unit, and quite frankly, it's probably a stupid idea. But it's hard to explain how this is the second time I've lived in a storage unit. It's so hard to explain because it's an adventure, it's something that I enjoy doing. Personally, it does give me opportunities for the world. It's just, it's not for everyone. And if you are considering to live in a storage unit, I do not advise you to live in a storage unit, but if you choose to do it, then that is your choice. Because I don't want to be done for telling you guys what to do. So if you do live in a cold place, maybe a storage unit isn't the best for you because of the cold walls, and that wall is freezing right now. But then again, this could be exactly what you need. Another con is signal and internet. Because these are metal walls, they do stop signal and internet coming through. Luckily for me, this building just so happens to have an antenna on the roof for my network provider, so I'm actually okay in this one. But my last one, I had to have an internet booster and it was attached to a plug socket outside just so it could boost signal so I could get it in here, which was just a kerfuffle. A con in here is there is no running water in your storage unit, unless you install it, I guess. But then again, for this building, there is a bathroom, and there is one downstairs. There's a bathroom downstairs with water, so you could transfer water from there to here if you really wanted to. Sure, you don't have your own toilet, but then again, you don't in a hostel when you travel. Sure, it's bare, grey/silver to the bones, and you might have trouble with electricity in your storage unit. Everyone's got their own opinions in life, and if you like the alternative living lifestyle, because this is an alternative living lifestyle, this isn't a normal house, flat, no, this is a storage unit. It's a storage lockup, a storage locker, storage container, whatever you'd like to call it. And I enjoy living like this, because it's such a simplistic way for me it's such a simplistic way for me to live it's such a simplistic way for me to live as I'm 19 years old and I don't have a partner, I don't have children, I don't have any worries in the world. So if you were looking to do this, I don't suggest you do it with children for the fact of safety. And if this suddenly set on fire at night and I'm in it, then that's my stupid fault. But I would never put my children through a situation like this. I would never if I was living in a storage unit, I wouldn't have my children live in a storage unit with me. I hope for the people interested to live in a storage unit, this has given you a lot of ideas, and I hope it has helped you very much so. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and share. Comment down below, are you going to live in a storage unit? If so, don't tell me your location, but how would you design it in comparison to mine? Because mine isn't the best design, but then again, I'm not the richest of people. This storage unit is an answer to, I say as a pro, it's an answer to homelessness. It really is. So yes, adios my Miss Amigos, and I shall see you guys all in the next upload. Until next time, goodbye.